You ever wake up to the sound of pure entitlement screeching through your window at 7 a.m.? Yeah, that was my life for months. My name's Marcus Reyes. I bought this fixer-upper in a fancy HOA neighborhood 2 years ago because the price was right and the bones were solid. Little did I know the real fixer-upper was the self-appointed queen of the cul-de-sac living right across the street, Karen Whitaker. President of the HOA for a decade. Queen of passive-aggressive notes. And apparently allergic to anyone enjoying their own property. It started small. I was renovating my backyard patio, nothing crazy. Just tearing out old cracked concrete to pour a fresh slab for my kids to play on. A little hammering here. Some drilling there. Normal weekend warrior stuff. But Karen? Oh. She hated it. Hated the sound. Hated that it interrupted her perfect morning yoga on her deck. First came the notes taped to my door, noise ordinance violation. Cease immediately. Then the formal complaints to the board. Fines started stacking up, $50. Then $100. Then $200 a day. She even got the board to send me a certified letter threatening liens on my house. I tried talking to her. Really? I walked over one sunny afternoon. Coffee in hand. All neighborly. Hey Karen. I'm just fixing up the place. It'll be done in a couple weeks. Can we work something out? She crossed her arms. Lips pursed like she'd sucked a lemon. Rules are rules. Marcus. This community has standards. Your racket is lowering property values. Lowering property values? My hammering? The woman had a fountain in her front yard that gurgled 24/7 like a broken toilet. I sighed. Deep. The kind of sigh that comes from your soul when you realize politeness is wasted. All right, I said quietly. Message received. That night I couldn't sleep. The fines were adding up fast, over $2,000 already, and my blood was boiling. I stared at the ceiling thinking. She wants quiet? Fine. But she never said anything about legal noise during approved hours. See. I read the HOA bylaws. Front to back. 3 times. And buried in section 7.4 was the golden ticket, construction noise permitted Monday through Saturday. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. No exceptions. No decibel limits mentioned for permitted work. And guess what? I had permits. County issued. For major landscape and hardscape improvements. The next morning, I didn't grab my little framing hammer. Nope. I called in the big guns. I hired a crew. Professional demolition crew. 3 guys with industrial jackhammers. A compressor truck. And 0 patience for drama. They showed up at 6:55 a.m. Sharp, legal start time was 7. I greeted them with donuts and cash bonuses if they started exactly on the dot. At 7 a.m. On the nose the earth shook. The jackhammers roared to life like angry dinosaurs. Concrete cracked and flew in chunks. Dust clouds billowed. My entire backyard became a war zone of demolition. And every single morning after that, for 4 straight weeks, they came back. Same time. Same volume. Same glorious chaos. Karen lost her mind. First day she stormed over in her robe. Hair in curlers. Screaming. What in God's name is this? I just smiled. Wiping sweat from my brow. Morning. Karen. Just some patio work. Permitted. Legal. You can check the county site if you want. She turned purple. This is harassment. Nah, I said calmly. This is home improvement. She called the cops. They showed up. Looked at my permits. Shrugged. And left. It's allowed. Ma'am. Sorry. Day 2, she stood on her porch filming me with her phone. Yelling about disturbing the peace. I waved. The crew waved back while jackhammering louder. Day 3, she started a petition. Got maybe 5 signatures, mostly from people who secretly hated her more than the noise. By week 2 the whole neighborhood was talking. Some folks loved it. Old Mr. Jenkins next door brought me beer one evening and whispered, "Keep going, son. She's had it coming for years." Others, well, they just closed their windows tighter. But Karen? She escalated. Fines doubled. Threats of lawsuits. She even tried to get the board to amend the bylaws overnight, emergency meeting and everything. But they needed a quorum and half the board was, conveniently, out of town. Funny how that happens when people are tired of one woman's reign. I kept going. Every morning. 7 a.m. Sharp. The Jackhammer Symphony. Brrrrmm. Crack. Thud. Over and over. I even started timing my coffee breaks to watch her pace her driveway like a caged animal. One morning, week 3, she snapped. Marched over in full HOA regalia, blazer. Clipboard. Fake smile cracking at the edges. "Marcus," she hissed. Voice shaking. "This has to stop. My blood pressure, my meditation, the resale value of my home." I turned off the compressor for a second. Silence rang out like a gift. The crew paused. Leaning on their tools. Watching. "Karen," I said slowly. "You fined me for fixing my own house. You threatened my family with losing our home over a little hammering. So I upgraded. To something louder. But still legal." Her eyes narrowed. "You'll regret this." I laughed, couldn't help it. Funny thing about regret. I think it's headed your way. That afternoon the board called an emergency vote. Not to stop me. To remove her. Turns out, while she was busy harassing me, she'd been skimping on dues payments for the community pool fund. Embezzlement light. Someone tipped them off, maybe the treasurer who'd had enough. Maybe me. Who knows? The vote was unanimous. Karen Whitaker, out. Stripped of her title. Fined retroactively. And the best part? The new board voted to waive all my accumulated fines. In the interest of community harmony, they said. But I wasn't done. Last day of the crew. We finished the demo, old patio gone. New form set. Ready for pour. Karen watched from her window. Curtains twitching. I walked over one final time. "Hey Karen," I called. She cracked the door. "It's over," I said. "Patio's done. Quiet returns tomorrow." She glared. But something was different. Defeated. "You think you won?" she spat. I shrugged. I think justice sounds a lot like a jackhammer at 7 a.m. Don't you? She slammed the door. The next morning. Silence. Beautiful. Glorious silence. My kids ran around on the fresh grass. Laughing. Neighbors waved. Mr. Jenkins gave me a thumbs up. And Karen? She put her house on the market 2 months later. Sold at a loss. Word got around. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's letting the rules she weaponized turn on her. Loudly. Relentlessly. Until even she couldn't stand the noise. So yeah, if your HOA Karen thinks she owns the quiet, remind her, rules go both ways. And sometimes, the hammer drops hardest when it's upgraded to a jackhammer. Stay strong out there. Your peace is worth fighting for.